So it finally happened. Kendrick Lamar stepped foot in the heart of enemy territory, Toronto. And not only did he show up, he made history. For months now, fans have been buzzing about this exact moment. What would happen when Kendrick brought the Not Like Us energy straight to Drake City? Well, now we know. Toronto didn't just show up, they showed out. Let's rewind a bit. First off, shout out to all the Canadian fans out there, especially the ones who've been following all the coverage leading up to this moment. A lot of you have been watching the build-up, sharing your opinions, and staying locked in. And apparently some of y'all are feeling bold enough to go to Kendrick's concert in Drake's backyard. At this point, if you're one of those fans, you're officially part of Drake's imaginary lawsuit, at least in the court of public opinion. Now let's talk about the energy. Kendrick didn't pull up regular. He moved like a president. When his motorcade came through the streets of Toronto, it wasn't just one or two cop cars. It was a full-blown escort. Blue and red lights flashing, sirens blaring, the whole deal. Now, yeah, he probably gets police escorts in every city on his tour. But in Toronto, you better believe things were extra tight. Security was beefed up heavy. The man didn't come. To play. This wasn't just another show on the list. This was a statement. And what a show it was. The concert was completely sold out, packed from front to back. The energy? Insane. You didn't just have fans screaming. You had the Toronto security guards, yes, actual guards working the event, dancing to the songs like they were off the clock and part of the crowd. That's how deep the music cut. That's how infectious the vibe was. Kendrick had the whole city in his hands for the night. From everything seen online so far, fans are calling this the best stop of the tour. The loudest crowd, the most engaged, the most emotional. A moment that felt bigger than just music. And in the middle of all that hype, a Canadian fan on camera said something that shook the internet. He looked right into the lens and said, "Hey, Drake, no hard feelings, brother. But if you'd put me on your Ghost Reddit team, you might have stood a chance. Kendrick been the king of Toronto since 2013. Now that? That's cold. It wasn't just the bars. It wasn't just the chants. It wasn't just a packed crowd, it was the emotion behind it. People were crying in the crowd. That's how real this got. And if you know anything about what's been going on lately, especially with all the drama, disses, and even lawsuits swirling around, you know why the tears hit different. And then it happened. Kendrick performed Euphoria, the song that already had fans losing their minds on every stop of the tour. But in Toronto, the crowd rapped every word, line for line, word for word, like they wrote the song themselves. And that was just a warm-up. The grand finale was Not Like Us. You knew it was coming. Everyone did. But still, when the beat dropped and Kendrick started rapping that opening bar, the place exploded. It felt like a championship celebration. It felt like a city flipping its own flag upside down. The entire building was jumping, screaming, vibing. People were looking around like, are we really doing this in Toronto? But nobody stopped. They went harder. And you know what? If you're a Drake fan, you can't be mad. Because let's keep it real. When Drake was beefing with Meek Mill, he did the same thing. He went to Philly, right into Meek's hometown. He performed his diss tracks there. And Philly was singing them with him. Loud, proud, and without a care in the world. So now the tables have turned. Kendrick pulled the same move, and it worked just as well, maybe even better. It's the circle of life in hip-hop. Tonight was Kendrick's night, but you just know Drake saw the videos, probably sitting in his mansion, scrolling through clips. On Instagram and Twitter, watching his own city scream the lyrics to a song that was meant to tear him down. And not just singing it, celebrating it, embracing it, enjoying every second of it. You can almost hear him now. You Canadians make me sick. Y'all called me a PDF in my own city? Nah, this is evil. It's crazy to think how quickly things shift. Drake has been running Toronto for over a decade. The city loved him like a hometown hero. But now it seems like people are ready for something new. Or at the very least, they're not scared to show love to the other side. And Kendrick didn't shy away from that energy. He owned it, embraced it. Delivered a show that people in Toronto will be talking about for a long, long time. So now the big question is, where does it all go from here? Does Drake fire back? Does he drop another diss? Does he show up in Compton and try to flip the narrative back? Or is this the point where things start to settle down? Whatever happens, one thing is clear. Kendrick came to Drake's city and left with the trophy. Whether you like him or not, you can't deny the impact of what just happened. That wasn't just a concert. That was a cultural moment, the kind that doesn't come around often. The kind that puts a stamp on the legacy of everyone involved. And if you were one of the lucky fans who made it to the show, you saw history live and in person. You felt it in your chest. You screamed the lyrics. You watched the crowd move like one giant wave. And you saw what it looks like when an artist fully takes control of a city, even one that shouldn't be on his side. Kendrick made Toronto his for the night. No one can take that away. So if you were there, let us know. Drop your comments. Tell us what it felt like, what you saw, what stood out. Was it really the best crowd of the tour? Did Kendrick really take the crown in Drake's kingdom? Or was this just another night on the road? Whatever your answer is, one thing's for sure, that Not Like Us chant hit harder in Toronto than anyone expected. And if you ask Kendrick, he probably already knew it would.